Hi, everyone. This is Carrie. Thanks for joining me. Today, I'm excited because we are opening up a new case, one that I've wanted to look into for quite some time. Some of you may know the story of Chandler Halderson. His mother and father, Krista and Bart Halderson, are no longer with us. And it was all because of Chandler's lies. And boy, were they a web of lies. So let's dive in. The following video contains audio of potentially disturbing situations that may be harmful to some viewers. Viewer discretion is advised. I'm reading here from CBS 48 Hours, and this is kind of an inside look at the Chandler Halderson case. In July of 2021, Bart and Krista Halderson were living a quiet life in Windsor, Wisconsin. They had a beautiful home and were the proud parents of two sons. Mitchell was 24, he worked in tech, and was engaged to be married. Chandler, 23, was attending Madison College, studying for an IT degree, and said he was looking forward to a job he had lined up at SpaceX. Yes, I said SpaceX. On July 2nd, Krista Halderson did not show up for work, and her coworker and friend David Croninger began to worry. He tried getting in touch with Krista, but there was no response. So Croninger went over to the Haldersons' home and saw their son Chandler. Chandler, who lived at home with mom and dad still, told Croninger his parents had gone to their family cabin for the 4th of July weekend. When Bart and Krista Halderson did not return home from the cabin after the 4th of July weekend and were also not answering phone calls or text messages, Daniel Croninger urged Chandler to go to the police for help. On Wednesday, the 7th of 2021, Chandler reported his parents missing to the Dane County Sheriff's Office, telling detectives his mom and dad were picked up and driven to the cabin by a couple he didn't know. As detectives began investigating Bart and Krista's mysterious disappearance, Chandler knocked on neighbors' doors asking if they'd seen or heard from his parents. Here's some creepy ring footage of that.
I was wondering if you were able to capture the road or my house. Did it capture anything on?
We don't know. We don't know. They just took a copy of everything, and so we're hoping.
Wide angle lens.
Yeah, and it's all
be able to get a
yeah, and it's all HD.
On July 8th of 2021, Bart and Krista Halderson's oldest son, Mitchell, drove to the family cabin 3 hours north of Windsor to look for them. Langland County Sheriff's deputies met him there, and together they searched the property. It became clear, however, that no one had been to the cabin in a very long time. There were no signs of Bart or Krista Halderson. Detectives interviewed friends and neighbors of Bart and Krista. They wanted to learn more about Chandler's whereabouts over the holiday weekend. Authorities started to suspect Chandler's story was not adding up, so they picked him up and brought him in for questioning. That questioning we do a video of, and that questioning, oh, it is a whole video in itself. So that'll be coming up soon. So the police interview lasted about 2 hours, and Chandler told detectives that his parents had gone to the cabin to take care of a plumbing emergency and that he had helped them pack tools for the repairs. While detectives were talking to Chandler, they received information that changed the tone of that interview. Turns out, deputies got a tip from a farm owner saying she had seen Chandler walking from the wood line on her property a few days before he had reported his parents missing. And when the deputies searched that area, they did discover human remains, a male torso to be more specific. Investigators immediately began testing to identify the remains. At the same time, they were grilling Chandler about his missing parents. But when he asked for a lawyer, the interview ended. Authorities arrested Chandler for providing false information about a missing person. 2 days later, the remains found on the farm were identified as Chandler's father. Chandler Halderson was charged with his father's murder. He was also charged with dismembering and hiding a body. But at the same time, they were all wondering, where's Krista? Authorities continued to search for her, not knowing if she was still alive. And during a press conference, Dane County Sheriff Calvin Barrett asked the community to stay alert.
The Dane County Sheriff's Office first wants to extend our thoughts and prayers to the Halderson's family, friends, and everyone else who's involved with this incident. The Dane County Sheriff's Office and our detectives and investigators will do everything we can in our power to ensure that we bring closure to this investigation. As we shared in the news last night, Chandler, middle initial M, last name Halderson, was taken into custody and being held in the Dane County Jail for providing false information in a missing persons investigation. Chandler is the son of Bart and Krista Halderson. The Dane County Sheriff's Office immediately began the investigation and got in contact with the Land Lake County Sheriff's Office to make contact with their cabin in White Lake, Wisconsin. The deputies reported that there was no signs of immediate activity at that location. The Dane County Medical Examiner's Office is involved as well in this investigation and have planned an autopsy of the found remains at the earliest convenience. This is still a very active and ongoing investigation, and the Dane County Sheriff's Office continues to ask citizens to contact us if you have any relevant information in regards to the Haldersons or their disappearance.
A major break came from an unexpected source: Chandler's use of the social media app Snapchat. Thus, some of you may have heard of this case referred to as the Snapchat murders. Chandler's girlfriend, Catherine, gave investigators permission to download data from her phone. Detectives say she would keep tabs on her boyfriend using a Snapchat feature that allows users to track a friend's location in real time. So on July 3rd, she spotted Chandler on Snapchat near the Wisconsin River. Catherine had taken a screenshot of the location and saved it to her phone. When the detectives searched the Snapchat location, they found human remains. The medical examiner later confirmed that they were the remains of his mother, Krista Halderson. Chandler was then charged with his mother's murder. The Snapchat location where Krista's remains were found was a familiar place to Chandler. Detectives say it was near Chandler's favorite swimming hole in a remote area with access to the Wisconsin River. This photo here was taken of Chandler at that location about a year before he was charged with the murder. In September of 2021, Chandler Halderson pleaded not guilty to the homicide, dismembering, and hiding the bodies of his parents, Bart and Krista. The trial began in January of 2022. Dane County prosecutors told the jury Chandler murdered his parents because they had discovered he had been lying to them about his attendance at college and his job prospects. Prosecutors presented evidence that Chandler had flunked out of college. They say he had made up a series of fake emails to make his parents believe he was still enrolled in the school. Prosecutors also presented evidence of Chandler's buying a tarp and 20 pounds of ice. Authorities determined the tarp Chandler purchased was similar to a tarp found in the garage at the farm where his father's remains were discovered. Authorities also found cutting tools hidden inside a rusty oil drum at the farm where Bart Halderson's remains were found. A forensic analysis testified that the blood on the tools matched both Bart and Krista's DNA. Prosecutors showed the jury a photo of broken glass from the Haldersons' fireplace. They also showed a video from a neighbor's security camera that captured a flickering light coming from a window at the Haldersons' home. Prosecutors say it was the same day they believed Bart and Krista were killed. A forensic expert testified at trial that more than 200 human body fragments were found in the fireplace in their home. A forensic expert also testified that there appeared to be blood in the basement of the Halderson home. The expert told the jury there appeared to be evidence of a cleanup. In this photo here of the basement, the floor does look clean, but in the dark, blue light reveals traces of blood. A gun was found hidden in a barn at the farm where Bart Halderson's remains were found. Authorities believe this weapon was used to kill Bart. The medical examiner was not able to determine how Krista was killed. The jury deliberated for 2 hours, and Chandler Halderson was found guilty on all charges and sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. In April of 2023, 2 of Chandler Halderson's convictions related to hiding his parents' remains were vacated on procedural grounds. Halderson continues to serve a life sentence with no possibility of parole for the murder and dismemberment of his parents. He has since filed an appeal on his conviction, and we'll have that information in another video. Until then, take it all in, guys, because we're about to start the trial of Chandler Halderson.